Gossip Girl Episode 5 had 3 very interesting lines, wordplay that may allude to future subplots, one of which has already begun, one of which we may see in the mid-season finale next week, and one which may allude to a major event later this year in the Season 1 finale. First, there is this line here.
What are you doing after school tomorrow?
As a fan who has been shipping Nick and Kate since they first met at the parent-teacher conference, that line jumped out as a way of asking someone out on a date. But at the time, Nick was just asking Kate if she was free to tutor Zoya. Nonetheless, that line took on new meaning because after the tutoring session, Nick invited Kate over to hand out candy to trick-or-treaters. That was a date. When the dust settled of the war that was the trick-or-treaters, Nick complimented Kate on her article. But unfortunately, Kate decided that instead of writing, the best way for her to make a difference in the world is with Gossip Girl. So Kate bailed on a great opportunity for a kiss by sneaking off to the bathroom to reactivate Gossip Girl, this time with the comments turned off. Kate's article was rejected, so she invited Nick out to dinner. But there are 2 problems here. First off, Kate has been keeping Gossip Girl a secret from Nick ever since the very first time that they met. So yeah, Kate can wipe Gossip Girl clean, but Nick's from Buffalo, he's from upstate, and the North remembers. Nick knows that Gossip Girl has posted bad stuff about Zoya and Jules, and to make matters worse, Jordan wants Kate. So Jordan's jealousy of Nick may lead to threats and/or action against Kate, possibly at the expense of Zoya. That actually leads into the second of the 3 possible examples of wordplay that I wanted to share today. Check out this line here.
If you won't stop, I'll make you.
Kate said that to herself in regards to deactivating Gossip Girl so as to prevent Jordan from posting again about Zoya. But Kate has reactivated Gossip Girl, so in the next episode, if Jordan tries to sabotage Kate's relationship with Nick by posting about Zoya, then those words may take on new meaning.
If you won't stop, I'll make you.
And speaking of threats,
Tell a single soul what you know. And what I do to you next will be.
Max threatened Rafa before they became a thing. Aki threatened Rafa at the bar, and Rafa threatened Aki in return. Now that Max has left Rafa, Rafa may threaten Max in an attempt to get him back. So there will be more drama to come with Rafa, since Rafa is a wolf in sheep's clothing, just like the writer Simon was to Zoya in this episode. And Monet turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing as well. Monet backstabbed and ditched Jules because Monet was unwilling to evolve with Jules as Jules changes and grows. And Jules isn't the only one who is changing. They all are, especially Ak. Auge noticed Ak checking out boys instead of listening to her. And later, Ak admitted that he is changing. He admitted that they are changing. But regardless of what Ak decides, Auge seems to be a rock, unlike Monet. So it seems that Audrey will be there for Aki just as she will be there for her mother, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The last theme to discuss today is the feeling of being ignored. Part of why Monet betrayed Jules was because she felt as if Jules was ignoring her, and in a way, she was. Jules had been choosing Zoya over Monet, and that hurt Monet. Max has been ignoring both his friends and his family, who were at home, alone, grieving. And Audrey and Aki had been ignoring Max, and that hurt him. Then we've got Zobi. Obi feels ignored by Zoya, since Zoya doesn't want to be touchy-feely in front of Jules, and also because Zoya doesn't listen to him attentively anymore, since Zoya doesn't know if Obi believes in the things he says he believes in or if he's being fake. Zoya needs to figure that out. But the theme of feeling ignored hit home most closely with Audrey. Audrey was very stressed that her mother had told her that they need to move back to Connecticut, but all of her friends, mainly Jules, ignored her. Jules ended up realizing this, but it was too late. Audrey had gotten drunk just like her mother had gotten drunk at the fundraiser party. That's when Audrey realized that she herself had been ignoring her mother, who was still hurting from her father's affair, the divorce, and the bankruptcy. Lo and behold, Audrey got a call from her mother's phone, but unfortunately, her mother was in the ER. Luckily, she survived, and now Audrey realizes that she needs to and wants to be there for her mother. And as tragic events often do, the group of friends came together, including Max. So the road ahead may be rocky, but as long as they stick together, they will be able to traverse it. That leads us into the 3rd example of wordplay that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Check out this line here.
But no, I'll be here, keeping count.
What does that sound like to you? It sounds like a list of who is naughty and who is nice. So considering the fact that they just had a Halloween party, Let's not be surprised if one of the second half episodes, possibly even the finale, is a Christmas party.